Officials are reporting a surge in Lyme disease cases. To help our viewers stay informed and protected during this peak season, we're joined this morning by Gunderson Health System infection preventionist Megan Meller. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So, we heard that there's a spike in Lyme disease cases right now. Tell us a little bit about what's driving this.
So Lyme disease is very prevalent in Wisconsin, and in fact, cases have been increasing across the state. They've more than doubled within the past 15 years.
Wow.
And so even looking back to 2022, cases are on the rise. So we're seeing the same trends continue this summer here.
Okay.
And with outdoor activities in full swing, tell me, how does one protect themselves?
Well, so the thing with Lyme disease is it's spread by ticks of all different sizes, even like the ones that are very, very tiny.
Okay.
So it's really important when you're outside to use insect repellent. So you could use something like with DEET or even like lemon eucalyptus.
Okay.
But it's also wearing like long sleeves, so it's really preventing the ticks from latching on you in the first place.
Okay.
So doing that, wearing repellent, and then in your gardens and lawns, making sure that you're reducing the grasses, because that's where tick habitat, or that's where ticks like to stay. So like I said, it's being very mindful of like your whole environment and also what's on your person.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that bug spray is very important. Trying to get in that habit. I am.
Absolutely.
I have a little one. So what symptoms should we be on the lookout for?
So early Lyme disease can present with a rash. We typically know of like what's called a bullseye rash.
Okay.
But we're like kind of like a clearing in the middle. But not all cases start like that. And so some might have what we call non-specific symptoms. Could be a fever, a headache, muscle aches, body aches. So if you have any of those symptoms and you know you've been outside recently, it's really important to go in and see a doctor.
Okay. All right. Good advice there.
All right, so let's put it this way here. If someone suspects a tick bite, what do they look for?
So if you suspect a tick bite, or even if you've pulled a tick off you, because I think that's what we typically see more often is someone's like, oh, I pulled a tick off of me and now I'm having these symptoms. It's really important to go to the doctor once you start having those symptoms. Now, not every tick bite will lead to developing symptoms, but ticks can also spread a host of other infections too. So I think no matter what, if you know you've had a tick bite and you're just feeling off, it's really important to go see a doctor.
Okay, and so as we see these cases increase, especially over the past 15 years, any new treatments or anything like that you can tell us about?
So infection.
That's all right.
Lyme disease in itself is really treatable.
Okay.
There's an antibiotic, really common antibiotic over the market that providers, they kind of know. It's like, oh, you're coming in for Lyme disease, we're going to give you doxycycline.
Okay.
But what's really exciting is there's a new vaccine that's coming out, or it's in stage 3 clinical trials right now, and it seems to be very promising.
Okay.
So fingers crossed that this will be something that we'll be able to take in the future.
Yeah.
And right now what I'm hearing about is that it will be like a single shot that you take every single year, just as a kind of a preventative way to prevent Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's great, because as it progresses, some of those symptoms can be pretty debilitating.
Absolutely. There's cases of Lyme disease, like the bacteria causing infections of the heart. We see like sometimes like neurological symptoms too. And really once it gets to those stages, it's a lot harder to treat. Like they're still treatable, it just requires more intensive interventions compared to taking an antibiotic for 2 weeks.
Right, okay. All right, I know you had a couple other questions you wanted to ask.
I want to know how or what's going on? How did all this come about? I mean, before we didn't hear about ticks a lot when we were little kids, but now it's all the time. When did this start up and why?
So I think it's always been here, but it also, like I said, it's been increasing in the past 15 years. So we're just seeing more and more of it. And I think in the age of like full transparency of even like celebrities drawing awareness to this, it's causing, it's helping us realize too that this is an issue. Pets too, we hear about like preventing tick bites on our dogs, because dogs can also, they like to roam in the woods.
Yeah.
They're gonna carry ticks. They might carry them inside the house. So I think we're just hearing more and more of it, and that awareness is causing us to then recognize those symptoms when we first have them and get treated.
Yeah. All right. Well, great advice there. So yeah, don't forget the bug spray as we head outside this summer.
Yeah, don't forget the bug spray, and I'm all for the long socks and long pants, especially in the heat of summer, because again, like I said, those ticks can be really tiny. And some people, what I've seen, they don't even know they've had a tick bite, and they're developing these symptoms of Lyme disease or other like tick-borne infections. And so that's just how easy it is for these little insects to spread infections.
Right, and create so much damage.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here to share this with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.